bit different here, and we've got two people with us who are going to tell us about some of the burning issues of the day from a practitioner's perspective, people who are actually on the ground dealing with these things and know at first hand the challenges that are faced. And we've got Simon Marcus who will speak first, followed by Andrew Percy, who's a councillor on Hull City Council and also the Conservative candidate for Brigg Gaul at the next general election. But we're going to start off with Simon. Simon runs a boxing academy in London, and this session is about breaking free from the broken society, which is obviously something at the heart of Conservative Party thinking. Simon, because of his running of a boxing academy, knows at first hand what needs to be done, and he's particularly going to speak about tackling knife and gun crime. So Simon, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what I do first, and then, as Philip said, give you my take on knife, not gun crime. I'll say, whoops, that moved, disaster. Not gun crime, because we deal with kids between sort of 13, 14, 15, 16. Most of them aren't yet exposed to that. But yeah, I'm on the London Boxing Academy, which is based in Tottenham. And the way it works is we take students who are kicked out of mainstream school for usually teacher assaults or mugging other pupils, and they send them to us. There's a tremendous benefit to the school, because take for example the school that sends us most of their students, Gladesmore School, which is an excellent school in Tottenham. Because they get approximately 10 or 12 of their most troubled young people off-site, that school benefits from a range of advantages. Less pupil absence, because there's less bullying, less teacher absence, because they're not absolutely sick and tired of teaching these kids or trying to, less police on site, less damage, etc. So the whole school and the other kids can work in less disrupted lessons. So the whole school just raises up. And of course the kids that come to us, actually, they're not officially expelled. So they get a clean start without the stigma of exclusion, which is actually a problem in their future if they choose, as hopefully we give them the opportunity to do, to go straight. Things are successful for us at the moment, touch wood, I'm very pleased to say. We have 32 students, 15 members of staff. What makes things different about the Boxing Academy is that as soon as these kids come through the door, for almost the first time in their lives, they're not the top dog. They're not the bully, because there's 20-stone professional heavyweight boxers standing right next to them, who, I should add, will not harm them in any way, but it's unspoken authority. Not only is it unspoken authority, but they're immediately engaged on their own wavelength, which is run off physicality. These are tough kids, and immediately they feel understood. And again, the term engage is perhaps most the key word here, and from that we can work with them. So I'd like to enlarge a little bit now, talk about knife crime in general, some random factors that I feel are the main contributors to these issues. For a start, it's a very serious problem. I was reading an article in the Guardian the other day, I don't know if that's sacrilegious to say that, and it actually said, it was dismissing the, I think, 27 deaths that we've had in London today as being just another phase of social disorder, like the mods and the rockers, the punk era, and going back to the 1920s, several. It is so disingenuous to say that, it is staggering. What we have now is a quantum leap from that. Just a few figures, I don't want to go into statistics too much. 250,000 kids carry knives every year. And they don't all go to Brighton Pier alone. This is around the country. And 70,000 kids every year, school-age students, enter the youth justice system. And as you probably are aware, many of them stay there, costing the state hundreds of thousands of pounds over a lifetime of crime. So, and adding to that, we've all read the UNICEF report or heard about it, saying our kids are the most unhappy in the Western world. So there's clearly something massive going on here. And as I said, there are several factors that all contribute to this. From my take in Tottenham, I would say, what people call the bling culture, or gangster rap. This is imbibed by young people through MTV, through the records that they buy, through posters, through films. And I can't tell you how insidious and how almost evil this culture is. It glorifies violence, glorifies misogyny, homophobia, hedonism. And these kids, when they're exposed to this 24/7, when people say, waking hours, actually enter a fantasy world. I see this every day at the gym, where kids risk getting stabbed over an iPod, over a mobile phone. Some of them have got 2 or 3 iPods. Some do the whole circle, they go through several pairs of hands in a month. And this sort of crazed materialism is really devastating at that level. Because again, you're talking about kids, many of whom, they can't make the choices that we're allowed to make through having been brought up with perhaps more advantages than some of these kids. So that's a very important issue. And of course, drugs come into this. They exaggerate these problems at every level. When I've got a 12 or 13-year-old who can earn $20,000 a year from running drugs, I can't tell him to flip burgers for £3.50 an hour. We've had kids who at the age of 13 or 14, they were clearing out bike showrooms. How much did he earn that year? 40, 50,000 quid? Get a job at Sainsbury's? I don't think so. So whether it's this materialism, the way drugs conflate and enter into this frame of mind, these are all parts of the problem. To which is added the acceptability and promotion of violence, again by almost every organ of the televised media, where violence is permissible and ratcheted up slowly, week by week, year by year. And again, it's very disingenuous to say that, you don't watch a film then go out and stab someone. Well, actually, in some cases you do, very rare cases, but it does happen. But what it does is it, again, ratchets up, creates a cycle where kids at the gym, you hear them talking about people that got hurt in various different ways on the weekend, talking about things they did, laughing, joking. It becomes acceptable, it becomes a norm. And some of these films are actually celebrating sadistic violence, like that film Saw or Hostel. I mean, these are really warped things, which maybe, certain people can digest. If you're masquerading as an art form, perhaps people can watch these things, but to show these films to these kids at that level is profoundly damaging over a period of years, and it becomes a cultural norm. Another thing, from my point of view, is the proliferation of extreme left liberal values into the system. Authority is oppression. Discipline stifles individuality. You can do what you want, it's your choice. You are free to do what you like. But unfortunately, no one told them there is no freedom without responsibility. And of course, the result is, when there is no authority, and there is no respect for authority, there is no fear of authority. Now, I'm not advocating that the kids should be hurt in any way, shape or form. But without some deterrent, we can't go anywhere. And actually, we are running an experiment in British society today at the moment. An experiment is, we are the only society, I believe, and interrupt me if I'm wrong, one of the only societies in history, in any part of the world, that has allowed young, strong, aggressive, sometimes highly violent young males to grow up with no physical deterrent at all.